I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord God, we come to you tonight with humble hearts and open minds. Lord God, I ask you to be with this meeting today, that everything we do be for the good for these students and this school. For us in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We'll call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present. Agenda was posted at a timely fashion for legal meeting. Next item is recognition of students of the month in the conference room. If the board will come around first.
Good evening. I would like to start with our third grade soaring cardinal for Mrs. Wyndham's class, Miss Addison Cooper. Addison is a hard worker. She is polite and always willing to help others. Addison's love for learning shines bright in the classroom. She is a joy to teach. Congratulations. Next we have for Mrs. Westbrook's third grade classroom, Miss Krista Lane. Krista is a very hard worker. She is a leader. She is very kind to all, and she is a great example of a soaring cardinal. Miss Krista Lane. Next we have for Mrs. Gaines' fourth grade class, Wade Gonzalez. Wade is fun to teach because he always gives his best. He is kind to his peers, and he is a great example of a soaring cardinal. Way to go. Next, fourth grader from Mrs. McCarter's class, Mr. Lincoln Ponder. Talk about you now. Lincoln is a hard worker. He is dependable and always tries his best. He is kind to everyone and exactly what a soaring cardinal should be. Lincoln Thomas. For fifth grade, Mrs. Clayton's class, we have Maggie Lill. Maggie is an amazing student. She works hard and offers her best at everything she does. She is a sweet young lady and a pleasure to have in our class. Miss Maggie Lynn. Next, fifth grader for Mrs. Monica Frost's class, Devin Henderson. Devin's not here tonight. All right.
Must be present.
And now for our Teacher of the Month. Our Teacher of the Month is Mrs. Seals. Come on down. Mrs. Seals is the heart of our school. With kindness, patience, and unwavering dedication, she changes the lives of her dyslexia students, helping them grow in confidence and ability every single day. As the leader of our student council, she encourages and inspires teaching students the power of their voices and actions. But her love for our campus doesn't stop there. She is always finding ways to make our school a better, brighter place. We are so lucky to have her, and we appreciate her more than words can say.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, we're going to recognize our middle school organization of the month, our middle school student council.
I'm Julie Hawkins. I am the advisor for the Maud Middle School Student Council. We have 34 active members right now. That's a lot of middle schoolers for me, so we have a great time. So I'll go ahead and turn it over the show to the kiddos.
My name is Brett Hawkins. We are members of the Maud Middle School Student Council. I'm the parliamentarian, and my favorite project was designing games for Spirit Week.
Hi, I'm Brinley Henderson. I'm the secretary, and my favorite project was when we got to go to the nursing homes and celebrate Christmas with the elderly.
Hello, my name is Mallie Epperson, and my favorite project we did is when we created a float for the Maud Christmas Parade. We worked together and had lots of fun.
Hello, my name is Chloe. My favorite thing was when we helped the senior citizen with Thanksgiving luncheon.
Hello, my name is Kayla Williams. I'm a member of the 6th grade group, and my favorite thing was the Valentine's Day.
Hello, I am Marie Seals. I'm the treasurer, and I like helping Mr. Van Dever budget our money.
Are very busy students. We have 6th and 7th graders represented here today. These students are also active in a lot of other organizations on campus, but as you just heard from the several activities that they mentioned, they also do so much more than that around campus just to help us to have a great campus and great activities for our students and also in our community. But I want to say this, this organization does so much because of their wonderful sponsors, so I would like to give Miss Julie Hawkins a round of applause. So again, our middle school student council. Our high school organization of the month is our high school student council. So our high school student council, the reason that I selected this month for them, I'm going to brag on them and kind of embarrass them for a little bit. There's a lot of other members and officers in this organization. It's quite a large organization like Ms. Hawkins was talking about. But it takes a lot of students to participate and put on all the activities that they do. But just yesterday, this student attended our spring forum for District 19 over in Pittsburgh, and they were awarded, and I want to be the first to say, the 5-time Blue Ribbon Sweepstakes Council. That's a very tough accomplishment. It's an honor that student councils receive for going above and beyond in all the areas that they're going to tell you about. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they've done throughout the year, and then I'll finish up with a few more remarks after they get finished.
My name is Gavin Robinson. I'm a senior and I'm the president of the student council this year. And like Ms. Terrell said, yesterday we attended the spring forum in District 8, or 19. Okay. And we got the honor of being an outstanding student council. And this is our binder with everything we've done throughout our year. We actually had the biggest binder, and this is a huge honor because not everyone gets it. For example, our neighbors down the street, James Bowie, did not get
My name's Mackenzie. I'm a senior and I'm the reporter. And one of the groups that we have is DASH. It stands for Drugs, Alcohol, Health, and Safety. And an event we do for that every year is our drug-free rally, which everyone participates in. It's a pretty big deal. And then another one is community service, and we do blood drives throughout the year, which we have students and teachers participate in, and we actually donate a lot of blood.
I'm Braylon Bush. I'm a junior, and I'm the Spirit Vice President. One of the groups I would like to talk about is our Pride and Patriotism. For Pride and Patriotism, we have our Veterans Day program that we have every year where we honor and we support our veterans for all that they've done for us. And then the next group is Energy and Environment. And for Energy and Environment, we reuse all the different decorations and props that we have for all the events we hold at Mod ISD. And that's really good for the environment, produces waste and pollution. So,
hi, I'm Harris Hawkins. I'm a representative of the 9th grade. And like Ms. Harrell was saying, we won a really special award, and not just doing the bare minimum in all of these categories, we're going above and beyond.
That's exactly right, and we call that the binder. And Ms. Hudgens, she has her sights on the binder because we don't lose that binder. It like you said, see, it's very full of all the activities that the student council has done throughout the year, but these students are involved in a lot of other activities as well, and they also have rigorous academic schedules that they do on top of that, and extracurricular activities. So these are really busy students, as well as all their other cohorts that are not here with us tonight. And so they go above and beyond for our school, our community, and so we're very thankful, very proud of them. But just like I just mentioned, and I don't want to stop without mentioning their fearless leader, Ms. Hudgens, over there in the corner. This would not be possible. So that also brings me, and these students know, she doesn't know because she does not like recognition, and she's not going to like this, but our secondary staff member of the month is Ms. Hudgens. I'm going to let these guys explain to you why Ms. Hudgens is our staff member of the month.
Ms. Hudgens is always here helping out, if it's from keeping track of the binder or helping us carry water bottles. It's whatever she needs us to do and whatever we need her to do.
I love how caring and helpful Ms. Hudgens is. She's always in her office and always willing to talk and share any ideas she has about whatever you need. And I will say, whenever I heard that Ms. Harrell would not be helping out with Stuco anymore, I was pretty disappointed, but there's no one in the world that could fill her shoes better than Ms. Hudgens. So.
Well, Ms. Harrell asked us to say like our favorite thing about Ms. Hudgens, and there was a lot. But one of my favorite things is how positive she is. But I think I should also mention, because she talks about it all the time, is she always gives us the cheapest deals when we go out to eat and stuff. She's very proud of that. She calls like 8 places.
So Ms. Harrell told us like literally 10 minutes before that we had to say something we love about Ms. Hudgens. But I couldn't think of anything because Ms. Hudgens is just so wonderful and amazing, and she's great at everything she does. and she got thrown into it this year without knowing anything. I remember at the beginning of the year, I had to tell her everything the student council does, and I had to help her, but she has done an amazing job, and I'm so glad she was our sponsor this year.
Hence why she's our secondary staff member of the month.
Thank y'all so much. It's an honor to get to recognize our kids. Everyone that received an award or recognition tonight, if you would come out in front of the crest, we'll get your picture. Parents, family. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Got anyone signed up? Having no one with communications?
None for this month, sir.
Consent agenda, we have the minutes of the January 23rd regular meeting of the board, the monthly financial report, amend the 24-25 budget, and item D, River Valley Tractor. Does any board member have any item they want to pull or discuss? We have a motion to approve items A through C as presented.
I'll make it.
Motion? Yep.
I'll second.
Second. Terry, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Next item is item D, River Valley Tractor. We have a motion to accept.
Make a motion.
Motion by Rusty. We have a second.
Second.
Second by David. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 4-4, one abstention. Next item is information items, principals report and athletic directors.
All right, we'll start with our elementary principals report. Let me jump over. Oh, I forgot you guys. So Ms. Eggers, you ready?
So,
And those are in front of you already. They have a little maroon banding on the sheet in front of you.
okay, well, our benchmark data is in, and I would like to start with our STAR interim growth for our 5th grade reading. The first column, as you remember, in October we took the Cambian test, and it did not have the ECR, which is the extended response, constructed response. But the scores look higher at that time with that piece, with the without the extended response. But as we look over in the next column, we did take the STAR test from last year, the released, and you can see that we met our goal, because our goal was 32% in the yellow, because this group last year only made 32% at meets level. Right now, we're trending at 50% meets. So we've met our goal and surpassed it as far as how many students meet on grade level. We do have 77 at approaches and 23% at masters. Our next benchmark goal for May for the actual STAR is 55%, which we will meet that and surpass it. Okay. The next group is our 4th grade reading. The prior year, this group in 3rd grade made 58% at the meet grade level. This last benchmark that we took, we were at 51% at the meets. So we still have a month and a half to make gains, and I know we're gonna make it, and I look forward to us making it to the 65% is what I said, well, 70% is what I originally intended that we could get to. But we are at 82% right now at approaches, which means 82% of our students are passing. If they had taken the test, they would be passing. Okay, our next page, our 3rd grade reading. In the very first test we took, Cambian, without the constructive response, was at 65% at meets. Right now we're sitting at 49%. I set a lofty goal of 70%. You have to remember these kids have never taken the test before. And so at 49% right now, that's very good. And that was with the extended constructive response.
That's their first time to write it.
The first time to write, And you can see right now, if this were the STAR, 83% would pass at approaches. And we're trying to get them to the meets that's on grade level. But right now, 83% of them passed. Okay. And we'll switch over to the math And for math, our Cambian test at the beginning, well, you'll look and see, 5th grade. The prior year, we only had 13% of our students meet grade level, taking the 4th grade math. This year, right now, we have 30% at meets, but we have 70% of the kids approaching, which means they've passed, they would have passed. So we still, we've exceeded the 13% from last year, and we're really close, to me, we're really close to the 50%. Because at this point, we've not, whenever the teachers in the math side gave the test, they've not taught all of the curriculum yet. So they still have a unit to teach, so that just means that whenever they took this test, there were 7 to 10 questions on the test that they had not taught yet. So they're in the process right now of teaching that, and we will see the gains with that.
One question
Yes,
for
sir.
you. Because we know that last year's performance was not as strong as it's been for MOD, but with your 70% approaching on the 5th grade test, can we assume that most of those kids have got a year's growth already?
Absolutely,
Okay, so that's
Yes.
that's going to count to.
yes. Because last year, they were at 13% meets,
Okay.
and we've already passed that at 30% at meets. So yes, the 70% is all, we've already surpassed a year growth since last year in our math. 4th grade, whenever we look at it, 4th grade, they were 75% last year at the meets level. Right now, we're sitting at 26%. With that being said, what I've done is I have split the class, and I have Mrs. Pate doing intervention with part of the class, and then I have Mrs. Westbrook, 3rd grade teacher, doing intervention with the other part of the class. So they're going to get intense intervention from teachers who have been in that grade level and have taught the materials. I also have them doing intervention after school. They're doing tutorial groups for small groups.
Until the major test?
Just over a month.
Yes, sir. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan, and we're gonna work it and get our kiddos where they need to be.
Ms. Siggers, before we go any
Yes, sir.
further, on your masters,
Yes, sir.
your projected percentage,
Mm-hmm.
is there concern there, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Again, I
I wanted to make
have,
sure.
yes, that's why I'm pulling in
Might pull
Ms.
it in.
Pate and Ms. Westbrook to do intense intervention in those categories. Okay, and then our 3rd grade, you can see our 3rd grade right now. Our goal is 80%. Now, that's a lofty goal that I set, but they did not have any data to go before I set this goal, as far as there was not a test in 2nd grade. So this is their first time taking it. But you can see right now, they're at 55% meets. That's amazing. So that's really good. And 84% is at approaching. And we have 13% at masters. She still has about 10 questions on that test to go. This percentage will jump before the test.
I do want to say, remember these percentages under the Cambium column? Those are meets percentages.
Yes.
She just put these on here just to show you where they fell out this time totally.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Main thing is that the students show improvement.
exactly,
Yeah,
that's the whole
advancement,
point.
yeah.
They're growing.
Everybody except the 4th grade math showed 1 year's growth.
Improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the main concern.
Yes, and.
Numbers may be low, but they show improvement.
They are showing, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Do you have any questions on that piece?
You have your edit report?
Yes.
That you normally do too, huh?
Yes. so board report. If you will look at the second to last column, the top, our current attendance percentages. We were very low this last time. Our total percentage for last 6 weeks was 89.25. We had the flu hit us in 2 waves. We actually had, even with our staff, we had 1 day in February that I had all of my staff together. Just 1 day, and that's how many people we had out with the flu. So it touched everybody. Again, we're still incentivizing the kiddos with attendance parties and just working on them really being healthy. We are cleaning the room still with the machine, the blower machine afterwards. Teachers are still Lysoling down, and because there's another wave, they say that's coming. So we're trying to be preventative, proactive before it gets here. All right, and we did student and teacher recognition on the next page. 100 Days Smarter. We celebrated our 100th day of school. The kids had a great time. They made their t-shirts. The teachers had a lot of fun activities for the kiddos in the classroom. It was just a really fun day. We celebrated Kindness Week with the students participating in daily kindness challenges. They did the one game, they had beads. What did we call that day? Oh, I forget the name of the game.
Rock, paper, scissors.
There you go, rock, paper, scissors, it left me. Rock, paper, scissors, and you see the 2 winners. We had a winner in the pre-K through 2 and a winner in the 3 through 5, and they just went around all day in between classes and at recess, and they would play rock, paper, scissors and see who could win, and the winner ended up with the most beads. It was fun. We also went to City Hall, and the officers of our student council met with Mayor Clary, and he declared February 10th through the 14th as Kindness Week. The kiddos, our officers, they really enjoyed going and meeting him and seeing City Hall. We had our School Resource Officers Day, where Officer Rochelle was presented with a Sonic gift card. Then, of course, our positive referrals are on the uprise. Our teachers are really representing our students well by promoting them, writing positive office referrals. Our kiddos in the middle, our kindergarten and first grade teachers in math have taken it upon themselves to challenge the kids with Zern parties. Zern is our intervention piece for the math. And what the teachers have done is they've made pictures, and you see this one is a heart, and they put a bunch of little squares on it. Well, every time a student earns their Zern point on their program, they get to go and color in. So this is a community chart within the classroom, and they encourage each other to get there. And once they get there, they have a class party. The Masonic Lodge came and they gave dental hygiene goodie bags to our first grade class. We do have the Tooth Fairy coming this month in March to do a presentation for our pre-K through 2nd grade. And last but not least, our Destination Imagination, they won the regional tournament. They came in first place in Mesquite, and they are headed for state. So we are really excited about them. They did phenomenal. It was my first time watching it, seeing it happen, and we've got some really talented kids. They are outside of the box thinkers, and they just did a great job. Upcoming events, we have the book fair going on next week. The Grandparents' Day will be next Wednesday. We have open house next Thursday. The Tooth Fairy coming on the 7th. We'll have our Soaring Cardinal Parade for the 4th 6 weeks on the 7th also. On the 11th, we're going to do a pre-K and kindergarten roundup and get our babies signed up for next year. And then, you know, we have the bad weather days coming up on the 14th and 17th. And we will do our class and spring pictures on the 18th and end the month with National Let's Laugh Day. We'll get the kids every morning on announcements. The kids from the student council. One of them will come up and they will they'll be the jokester for the day, and they read off to their favorite jokes, and it's just a fun way to get the kids in the morning time going. All right, anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. You guys can see there on the front page, we have a comparison for our enrollment as of today to last year at this time at our board meeting. And you see our attendance is a little down this year, especially in our 6th grade. As Miss Seeger said, we were hit hard in 6th grade with flu. 2 rounds of flu that actually hit that grade harder than any over on the secondary campus. And so we have all of our students back, and hopefully we have, like Ms. Seeger said, started taking preventative measures to hopefully prevent several of them getting sick if there is another wave like they're predicting. We do spray the classrooms every evening. We also have the Clorox wipes where we're wiping down all of our surfaces, especially our high traffic surfaces and everything. You'll see there on the next page just a little bit more comparison from the previous months to kind of where we were at. We are going to celebrate our attendance winners. Our grades for this past month were our 8th grade and our 11th grade. So we announced that today. We have baseball and softball gone tomorrow, so we're going to do Sonic drinks next week for those grades to celebrate the highest attendance within the middle school and the high school, to again continue to encourage attendance. We understand that they're sick, but when they're not, or when they're just not feeling well, to come on up here to school. So that's where we are with our attendance. We, on our news for these past couple of weeks, we did go on our middle school UIL trip. We went to the movies in New Boston and then got some pizza and went to the park there. We had a great time. Students really enjoyed that. It's a nice encouragement for those who didn't participate to participate next year, so that way they can go. And also a reward for those who did participate. They worked so hard and did a really great job, so we had a great time on that. We have, and next month I will present our benchmark data. We have completed our English, our reading, our science, and our social studies. We have math, and that's going to take place next week. And but we have already started. We've held all of our PLC meetings for those 3 subjects, and we've already started our target areas based off of that data. And I'll present more of that to you when I have numbers for you next month in all of our subject areas. We also received our new furniture, Coach Bishop, Miss Baskin, and Mrs. Fothergill, and they sent me all to tell you thank you. They really love the new desk. The functional seating are the chairs and the desk, and what it is the desks are they're like an odd shape, and you can put them in a group, in a circle. You can put them in a group that's in a straight line, or they can stand alone. So our teachers are really liking the functional seating to meet their needs. If we have group work, they can adjust the seats as needed, or if they need the students to be doing independent work, they can do that as well. So they really appreciate you guys doing that for them, and really the students enjoyed it, and they really have enjoyed it. This past month, some of our high school students went over to our Seniors for Cardinals luncheon. We tried to get 2 from every organization to go over and represent our ag, our band, our athletics, and Stuco. And so we took our high school students over there just to tell our community members some of the activities and things that they have participated in this year. So they could also visit with our community members and let them know what we're doing over at the secondary campus on the high school side of things. There on the back page, you can see our high school student council. They did host our heart-to-heart love and laughter bash, and we had every single, even middle school organization host a booth, a table for all of our students. So just to really encourage inclusion and participation, we had a flower making station, we had a photo booth, a card making station. Every single student at the middle school and high school, they got a Valentine card from a student council member, and they all could make a flower. Some of them gave them to each other, some of them gave them to their teachers, and some took them home to their parents and guardians. So it was a really great event. Our students had a lot of fun. especially our middle school students. They really enjoyed that. Several of our members of our FFA officer team on Monday, they went to the area convention and had a great time, learned a lot. And so those members did a great job there. Our band yesterday went to the Pleasant Grove Concert and Sight Reading Contest, did a great job. They received a 1 on their concert piece and a 2 in sight reading. And Mr. Fannin is very confident that next week that they will probably get 1 in both of those areas. He said that was the hardest piece of sight reading music he's ever seen. But I talked to our band, they're in great spirits. They received a trophy from yesterday. So they will go next week and actually participate in the UIL portion of the concert and sight reading. So super proud of our band. And as we said a minute ago, our high school student council did go to Fall Forum and did receive their Blue Ribbon Sweepstakes Council honor again yesterday. And like I said, I know, we poke fun and Gavin, he, has to poke fun at our neighbors down the road, but that is a great accomplishment for those students. They do a lot of work. They do a lot on our campus. And so it's just getting that documentation together to go and show what they do. So we're really proud of those students and Ms. Hudgens for all their hard work. You can see there it's spring. And so it's going to be busy at the secondary. We have again next week kicking off band solo and ensemble, tomorrow band solo and ensemble will take off to New Boston. We have several members of our high school band participating there, so we're excited to see what they can do. We expect to get lots of ribbons out of that. And then next week also kicks off golf. So our golf teams have been named who's going next week. They're excited. We also will celebrate open house next week, and also we're going to do more of a CTE showcase in our high school because February is also National CTE Month. So we've been making announcements this week to recognize our CTE programs, the teachers, the sponsors, but also our students and the hard work. And all of those have already been recognized over here. So I know you guys have seen those students as well. And then we'll continue with, we also kick off track next week. And our juniors will be taking the ACT school day in March. So we have students signing up this week. And tomorrow we'll have the deadline for that. We'll get our groups and everything ready for that. We also have cheerleading tryouts coming up in March as well. And prom will be in early April, as you can see there. So just lots of great things that are taking place. Busy time of the year. Mr. Fannin said yesterday we were trying to work out getting baseball players to the solo and ensemble, and then the baseball and softball to solo ensemble and the softball. And he said, I've never had to share band and softball and baseball. And I'm like, hey, that's a good problem to have. Our kids are really participating in things. So we're excited about all the great things they're doing and the hard work that they're doing in the classrooms, most importantly. So do you guys have any questions or anything you need me to clarify this evening? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Try to speak up this time. Try to speak up this time.
Yeah.
That worked out really well.
No, what? Never mind. All right, girls basketball, all district. Mallory Bishop was the district offensive player of the year and also academic all district. Brooke Allison, Mason Sanders, Brooklyn Osborne were all honorable mention and academic all district. And then Abby Brayley, Amy Hill, Leah Pemberton, Kiera Montemog, and Mackenzie Bishop were academic all district. So good year for them. The boys all district, Hartsbluff just got beat out on Tuesday, so we'll have that out. The boys don't know yet, so we're going to let them out before we make a thing. It'll be on Facebook and whatnot, so I can let you know next board meeting, but it'll be on Facebook soon. Powerlifting, girls regional qualifiers, Brooklyn Osborne and Adriana Hamilton, and the boys regional qualifiers, Reese Bailey, Jackson Braley. I don't think I spelled Jackson right, but that's all right. Aiden Acosta. The girls' regional meet is tomorrow in Commerce, Melford. If you get bored, just head on down there. I bet there'll be somebody to check it out. The boys' regional is March 8th at Queen City. Kind of a cool deal having it in Queen City real close. Normally it's around the Tyler area, but the regional director is now the AD at Queen City, so they moved it there. So kind of a cool deal that it's that close. And then Reese has already hit, so you have qualifying marks. If you hit certain things, then you automatically qualify for regionals, even if you're not in a certain number or whatever. Well, there's also ones for state. Reese has already hit that for his state qualifier, so he's already qualified for state, even if he's the number one in the region. So he should win the regional. But even if he didn't, he's already qualified, so it's a big deal for him. And he actually hit that not last meet, but the meet before that. So been a big deal. And I'm gonna brag on Jackson Braley a little bit. He's a kid that never really had done it before. He had always gone as Reese's rapper and was like, I think I want to try it. And he was like, I just want to get 1,000 pounds the first time I go out. And he did it, and he was like, I think I got more in me. And ended up having to pull something that I don't think he thought he could get, and it ended up getting it and was a regional qualifier. So kind of a big deal, and kind of let him, have a little, little extra swag going on for him. So I was proud of him. Golf first match is March 3rd. Track junior high girls. So the junior high girls and boys are split this year, which is a good thing. If any of y'all know, track meets can last all night. This is one of those things that kind of gets those kids home a little bit earlier. The girls are going to be, first one's going to be in Atlanta, and the boys' first one is in Paul Pewitt. And then the high school boys' first meet is also in Paul Pewitt on Friday. Softball girls, I have 6-0, but I got confirmation we're 7-0. Beat Avery to that in the Wolf City tournament, so we're now 7-0. Girls are looking good. I think he's had 3 different pitchers throw for him this year, all of them with wins. It's been a really good year for them so far. We hope to keep that going. And baseball will be back in action tomorrow. We're getting better. Had a rough first game. Looked a lot better this last game. We got a lot of young guys. Hopefully, I think we'll grow up real fast, and I think we'll be okay once it's all said and done. But we'll be all right. Anybody got anything else?
I think that's pretty good.
Next, item 8, annual review of early childhood and college career and military readiness goals.
Ms. Seegers hit some of these already, but I just want to take a minute to pull us back to our board goals. This is our 3rd grade students. Again, we're looking at meets. And 2025, our board goals are 63%. And you can see Ms. Seegers is higher than what she talked about earlier on our meet score. So I do anticipate this was our progression to get us to 2029, which was almost 10 points of growth over that period of time, with a test that increasingly gets harder each year. And so looking at where we are in 3rd grade, we're projecting to be on par with our board goals over time. And so very pleased with the results that was shared earlier in that one. So our 3rd grade math scores as well. Again, from this year's goal is 62%. And if you remember back from Ms. Seeger's presentation, she's shooting, I think it's 80% for your 3rd grade math. So it's a lofty goal that she's shooting for there. But if you remember right now, they're sitting at 55%, and they still have things they haven't taught. And so they're well on par for accomplishing those goals there. And so I'm very pleased with that. And again, the whole point is that we want to see each kid make at a minimum a year's progress each year. And a lot of those kids that we saw a while ago in 5th grade have already made a year's progress, and we expect to see much more than that. That's double points at that point when they start getting to that piece for the district. So very pleased with the progress that they're making in those areas. The next one is our CCMR board goals, and you can see that those are projected to go from 85% in 2025 up to 93%. Remember, those are different from what they've been in the past, and so Kayla will talk more about that next month as she brings in her high school data. But this is just a recap of where we were, and it changing to ultimately the 2037, 38 targets that will be out there in the future. I do expect high school in the CCMR to be providing for you in the next 5 years, mainly the targets for the 2037, which is extremely far out. So they're well ahead in pacing with the state on the CCMR goals. So those are just targets there. She'll present that data next month. Okay. Any question on those pieces? And we're trying to break it up into smaller segments with you, so you're not drinking through a fire hose at one time on this stuff. So this month was the emphasis was elementary. The next month it'll be secondary, and so we'll just kind of keep that rotation going with you and you'll see it, and then they'll have scores coming in. We'll be talking about those pieces as we get those back from the state each time as well. That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right. Next item, consider to approve policy update 124 and discuss legal policy.
Okay, late in the cycle, but 124 has come out. There were several pieces in the legal aspect. A lot of it dealt with things anywhere from pregnancy-related services, just the gamut across the board from the legal side. What we do have to look at is updating our local policy, and the following ones are CA deal with financial management objectives, revenues and investment, intellectual policy, property, employee standards and conduct, curriculum design, special programs, gifted and talented, student welfare, child abuse and neglect, community relations, conduct on school premises. And so those are the newer updates, and those are the ones that have come in since our last adoption in 123, excuse me. And so they're pretty, I guess, small in breadth this time. Nothing significant that jumps off the table. With us having a legislative session now, I do expect our next update to be rather lengthy and dense, and so that's typically the case. But I would look at this. I would recommend that the board update, accept the TASB's 124 update local.
Any questions or discussion? Do you have a motion to approve policy update 124 as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Terry, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Rusty, all in favor? Unanimous. Next item is 10, consider and possible approval of HVAC updates to Mod High School.
All right, team, this is just continuing with the HVAC updates that originated back with Dr. Bradshaw. Last year we did, I believe it was the north wing of the high school, up those 4 air conditioners. This is a quote for the south wing, those 4 air conditioners as well. But you can see there's a significant difference in the cost from doing 4 units last year to this time. It's about a 30% increase. A lot of it has to do with the new air cooling systems that they have inside the air conditioners now.
So you checked that?
Sir?
You checked that in the reason?
Yes, sir. I saw it earlier. I didn't think it was going to be quite that significant, but yeah, it's been the refrigerant is the major piece there. This is one that I got the quote and I was ready to get it done, and Ms. Holly was screaming and hollering at me, "No, we can't go yet. We can't go yet. We got to go to the board." And so, because last year I didn't have to go to the board on it, it was under that threshold. So, but anyway, the units that these are scheduled to potentially replace are at 17 years old. Right now they are working, but the whole point is to try to make sure that we don't have catastrophic failures across the board when we can incrementally take care of these.
Don't we usually do that in the summertime?
Or spring break. And so, yes, sir. So I was really trying to I was thinking about I could get it done last week when nobody was around, but thank you, Ms. Holly, for keeping me legal. But we can schedule this in spring break if they've got time, and I think they do, or potentially even early summer. That gets that locked in, ready to roll.
Any other questions or discussion? Do you have a motion to approve the HVAC updates?
Motion we approve the HVAC update.
Motion by Rusty, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second Terry, all in favor? Unanimous. Superintendent's report?
Hey, just a few little things, team. The first one is the cafeteria preparations. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the meeting tonight, but I do have a bid from Richardson Fence for removing the existing fencing in front of the proposed cafeteria. So we wanted to pull that out of the scope. I didn't want to have just a general contractor taking care of that piece there. I think they've done a great job for us. They're going to come in, remove that fence, store it at their site so it's not damaged or anything, and then when it's over with, come back and reinstall our fence. And so that doesn't require a board approval. I just wanted y'all to know what's going on in the background and why that was done that way. But I feel like that's probably our best way of ensuring what we've already invested in, and the guys that put it up are the ones that are taking it down and bringing it back to us. Next piece. If you remember a couple board meetings ago, we talked a little bit about athletic equipment. This doesn't require approval. I wanted you to also see that I'm trying to do our due diligence, looking at the different options that are out there. We got quotes from 3 different vendors, John Deere, Kubota, and Professional Turf Products. They're all very competitive, but I do intend to go with the Kubota product. They've been good to us over the years. But the whole point of putting that in there is just to bring it back to you and say, hey, we are doing our due diligence, trying to make sure we're taking care of the district and money. And Kubota is our cheapest offer as well. So next one, open house. Again, principals have talked about that next Thursday, and so that'll be open. And then board training to help with our continuing education hours. You'll just keep on your agenda. Each of our board meetings going forward, we'll start at 5, and we'll have a
5:30.
Excuse me, 5:30. Thank you, and have a short session just to help with our hours and getting all those pieces put together. Is it April 8th, Ms. Holly? Is that right?
10th, I believe.
10th? Spring, whatever it's called.
I believe it's April the 10th. I registered.
Okay.
Today.
You should have got an email from Ms. Holly that you were registered for that. And so that'll be at Region 8. Again, they will feed us that night. We can get our legislative updates and other pieces. And we'll leave here, it usually starts at 5:30, the meal. So we'll leave here about 4:15, and between 4:15 and 4:20, somewhere in there. And that'll get us there plenty of time, get you set in. And Melford and I will make sure everyone knows where the back door is so we can get out of there faster next time.
All the old guys.
I think that's it on the superintendent's report, Mr. President.
All right. Next, we'll be going into executive session at 7:28 p.m. We will be discussing personnel according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Discuss and consider contract recommendations of the following personnel: business manager, curriculum director, elementary principal, secondary school principal, athletic director, technology director, and diagnostician. Resignation, retirement from employees, and Mod ISD school guardians. Consultation with attorney regarding construction matters. We'll go into executive session at this time, take about 5 minutes. We're coming back into open session at 8:18. Next item on the agenda is deliberation and possible actions to select general contractor for the 23 MISD bond programs projects new cafeteria.
All right, Mr. Gedwall is going to present to us the findings of the day at the big tab.
Yeah, Doc, I appreciate it. Board members, I hope Doc didn't steal too much of my thunder. First off, I appreciate y'all's patience. I know this has been a rugged road over the last few months for you guys to get to a point where hopefully you can give the voters what you promised them. I told Doc when the envelopes were coming in that day, I would be happy with 3 or 4 good solid proposals on the thing. We received 8 good coverage. We had one way up here, one way down here, but we had 6 of them right there in the sweet spot. And so our Seegers, myself, another PM with our company, and then Jason all sat down and went through all the proposals, ranked them. We had a rubric that took everything from price to experience to personnel, various factors, and graded those. And you've got the scoring sheet here in front of you. It's a somewhat subjective process. One of the reasons I pulled in an outside one of our PMs that wasn't familiar with anything, I wanted to look at the presentation of qualifications as well as price and rank it based on that criteria. And so we did. And we came up with the top ranked firm of its Rec TXK, which is also Rogers, which you guys are probably familiar with. A little surprised at least one of the proposals. Alltech had really expressed an interest in this project and had a lot of good questions for us, attended the pre-proposal conference, but they just seemed to ignore all the requests for information that we had in the front end specs. They just kind of gave us a price, gave us a resume. A guy that's been building Dollar General stores for 20 years. About all he had on his resume. and didn't respond to a lot of the questions we had, and that kind of hurt their score. They had a pretty good price. At the end of the day, we're recommending that you guys consider Rogers Construction. They tied with WRL General Contractors, and Doc, you can add anything you like. I mean, they were really close, good experience, good personnel, good presentation of qualifications. I think for me, it almost came down to distance. Rogers is about 20 minutes away, and WRL's down there in Flint, about 2 hours away. And I think response time and making sure we got somebody on site getting this thing closed out and finished at the end is going to be important to you folks. So I think for me, that was what tipped it over to go with Rogers. Jumped over a couple of guys with lower prices. The 4.1 million, the lowest proposal, kind of scared me. When we dug into it, some things jumped out at me. One is most of their projects were in the $100,000 to $1 million, $1.2 million. They had about $5 million on the books right now. But even their historical prices, they showed some school work, mostly in Nacogdoches, but it was play fields, restrooms, things like that. It wasn't really a facility of this nature. The one thing that concerned me, in addition to the price, because they were so much lower than anybody, when they presented their schedule, and I'm speaking of TCMC, they proposed 240 days. The schedule that they had in their proposal was actually 270 days. But out of the 270, they were really only showing work in 223 days. And when you go through the scope and sequence, I would not have proposed 8 days to do all the electrical rough-in on this project, or 7 days to do all the mechanical rough-in. They went through that in great detail, but it was fairly unrealistic. So from my perspective, that cost them. Personnel-wise, they were okay, but I was really concerned about their price and their approach, because they were half the timeline of everybody else, and that's a red flag to me. So that cost them on their score. Another competitive proposal was Coker Building Company. Coker has no work right now. They have no work on the books, and from my perspective, it was difficult for me to say, let's keep these guys in business and get them on board here. Price was good, schedule was reasonable, but when you look at experience, you look at price, you look at all the criteria we put together, Rogers floated to the surface. And so that's our recommendation. I think that gives you guys a cushion to go back and consider the band hall renovation and some of the other things you promised your voters. I will say too that Rogers in the proposal, I actually handed Doc a formal letter saying that they felt like they might be able to find another $500,000 in value engineering in the project, which we're going to pursue that, and anything we gain out of that will come back to you guys in terms of contingency, and then ultimately a deductive change order if we don't spend it. Now, don't get too excited, because some of that may be, forget the JIP, let's go with FRP, or concrete floor. They might have stripped it way down to the level we're not willing to take it, but I think they probably do have some things to look at that will bring value back to you guys. So we'll talk with them. I will say, going into a project like this, there's probably not a high pressure 16-inch gas line out there that we're going to find that we didn't know was there, but we're going to find some challenges along the way, and we may get some ideas as we get into the project of things that we might do that to the betterment of the project, to your benefit. And so I would say in the recommendation, consider Rogers as the low proposal to specifications, plus maybe about $100,000 contingency. That allows us to keep the project rolling. If something comes up and we need to extend the fence or do something, we can make that call within Doc's spending limit and not have to wait till the next meeting and hold things up. We can keep the ball rolling. And of course, Doc will present that to you as you go through that, of everything we've committed, if any, out of that contingency. But it gives us a safety net to keep the ball rolling. And then, like I say, any value engineering we can find with Rogers post-bid, we'll just add to that contingency. And at the end, whatever's not spent will come back to you as a deductive change order. So we're really good about it. Great coverage. We got exactly what we were hoping we would. Contractors that like this range of projects, they drew subs that are well versed in this kind of work, and you can see the delta between 6 of those guys is just right there. They were all on top of each other and pretty close on days. So I feel good about it. Any questions?
I'd like to thank you for all y'all's work.
It's
We
good.
sure needed the help, you know why?
I appreciate y'all being patient and letting us give Ideal that one more chance to take it out there and see if they could bring it back to us. But I was a little nervous about this one, but I told Doc, kind of laid it out there because what we were seeing from Ideal was nothing like what we were seeing in the market in any place. So I'm glad it went well.
Thank you.
Jason, Robert, is there anything y'all want to tack on to this? Sorry I brought you in late. I'm a little slow with the technology.
No, that's perfectly okay. No, just I'm pleased with the results as well. I think the decision to rebid was I think a positive one, so I think we're ready to move forward.
All right. I appreciate y'all being willing to hang in there with us till this point in the evening, and appreciate all the work that y'all have done to help us in the tabulating and putting things together and bringing a formal recommendation to the board tonight. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
And Robert, I want to say too, I felt like we were in a impasse at one point here. It just seemed like we couldn't get off high center. I want to say thank you for what you brought to the table. And so,
more importantly, having sat in y'all's chair for a couple of terms, I don't know what I was thinking. But when you go out to a community like this and you ask for millions of dollars and you're struggling to get the first one off the launching pad, that's rugged, because I know how the barking chain goes around town, around the district, and so now you guys can give them what they ask for. Be proud of it, yeah.
The outcome's what's important.
That's right.
Thank you, Robert. Russ has got recognition. So when you're ready, Russ has got the.
He's got it.
He's got the language. He got the name. Oh, you got it too? Perfect, Russ. That's fine.
I don't even know where he passed this up.
Miss Holly helped us out. We got it all. Everybody.
Should correct one misword or whatever.
All right, any other discussion on the selection of general contractor? Or do we have a motion to select general contractor?
I move that we adopt and approve resolution selecting RegTex LLC as the general contractor for the 2023 Mild ISD bond program projects, new cafetorium, and delegating authority to the superintendent.
Well put.
I second that motion.
You have a second? All in favor, raise your right hand. It is unanimous.
All right, board, one thing now, I'll reach out to Rogers tomorrow, let them know they order the top rated firm, and we'll begin negotiating a contract. And that usually takes, depending on how much their lawyers wants to bleed on what our lawyers have bled on, that may be a week, maybe 2 weeks. But when we get that solidified, I'll come back, ask you for a special call board meeting and get that locked in so we can get this timeline rolling.
Awesome. Third turn in about 2 weeks.
I just said we're trying to bleed on it. I'd love it. I'll be honest, I'd love it.
Moving on.
Yes, sir.
Next item is consider to take action on personnel contract recommendations. Start with, do we have a motion for junior high school principal Keta Harold, 2-year extension of 1-year contract?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Passes 3-4, 1 abstention. Next item, Melissa Seegers, elementary school principal, 2-year extension, 1-year contract. We have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? It's unanimous. Next item, Josh Turner, athletic director, 1-year extension of 2-year contract. We have a motion.
We got a motion.
Motion, we have a second? Second, all in favor? Raise your right hand. Unanimous. Tommy Van Deaver, business manager, 1-year extension of 2-year contract. We have a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion, have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Unanimous. Amanda Sanders, curriculum director, 1-year extension, 1-year contract. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, we have a second? Second. All in favor? Next is Brandon Caraway, Technology Director, 1-year extension, 1-year contract. Have a motion? Motion, do I have a second? Second, all in favor? Unanimous. And Julie Hawkins, Diagnostician, 1-year extension, 1-year contract. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second? Second, all in favor? Thank you. Next item is consider and take action to approve recommended employees to serve as school guardians. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the ones recommended.
Have a motion, have a second? Second by Rusty, all in favor? Unanimous. Next is consider and take action accepting resignation retirements. We have resignation letters from Kim Epperson, Monica Frost, and Tanya Clayton. Do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept.
A motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Unanimous. Next item is adjourn. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Unanimous.